Welcome, everyone. This is the Jenkins User Experience Special Interest Group. Today's the 12th of March, 2025. Thanks very much for being here. Topics on the agenda today. Most crucial, I think, recent UI topics. The other items below it are just for information's sake. So any other topics that we need to add to the agenda? Okay, then let's go ahead and start talking about recent UI topics. Jan, do you want to take us first on the header redesign pull request?
Yeah, sure. I don't think there's a great deal to talk about for that one. I think there's been quite a few changes just around plugin integration. Um, I believe Torsten was having a few issues with it. I might, well, I'll just reach out privately and we can hopefully fix those. There was an issue with like the header tag not working right and it not loading in the right script tags. And I tried it on my end in like a scratch file and it was okay, but maybe I'm kind of not doing it correctly. But I'll reach out privately and we can hopefully fix that quite quickly. But
Great.
yeah, otherwise, I think it's going quite well.
And now, one of my key questions was, we're about to choose an LTS baseline, and I'm nervous about putting this one in the LTS baseline. Are you okay waiting till after LTS before it arrives?
Yeah, no, I
Okay,
think
thank
for
you.
sure. Yeah.
Great. All right. So that's okay. So Jan is okay that this one is not in the next baseline. Thanks. That's good. Thor, were there any questions you had or comments you wanted to make there?
No, it's basically what I just found is like in our plugins with that change incorporated, we could not actually inject anything in the header. I'm not sure. It's like I made a comment just today about like my deduction, what may be the reason for it, but it seems like for me it's like one jelly. It's not actually working anymore because I think Jan created like a space, like a namespace, like header, right? And in this namespace right now, it's going into some different spaces like login, breadcrumb, and stuff like that. But the header, it's not, now I think Jenkins is confused to actually know that you're gonna have to actually inject it. But maybe we are doing something wrong or something is not really syncing up. But it seems for us at least that it's not working. But that would be quite alarming because I'm sure that lots of different plugins actually using this layout header tag to actually inject something into the head.
Thanks. Anything else then on header redesign? Oh, Christina, I think we'd had you connected. Were there any things that you wanted to highlight there, or any topics?
Not specifically about the header.
Okay,
Um, I'll leave that to Thor to work out the details of. And let me know, Thor, if there's anything I can assist with.
great. Thanks.
I don't want to make it too many cooks in the kitchen.
Excellent. Jan, you had added search groups and plugin integration. Do you want to share screen, or do you want to just talk about it?
Yeah.
What's your preference?
Um, yeah, I'll just share screen for 30 seconds if that's all right.
Great. Let's go ahead.
Awesome. All right. Ooh, I think they've changed the UI. There we go. Hopefully you can see my screen. All right. Really quick one. I think this was recently merged in the last week or so. Um, but it's adding kind of grouping to the command palette. Um, and want to kind of take it a little step further in the kind of next week or two, where we can have plugins and different actions integrated with it as well. So if I search for, say, buttons, um, you can see that like the design library has hooked into the palette. It's got this kind of custom grouping. It's got this custom result. Same applies for if I just search for A. You'll see that we get these kind of nice groupings. You can see that the settings or Manage Jenkins can hook in now as well. So from any page, you can just Command K, type in a few letters, and hopefully be on your way. And yeah, so we've got an example of like core integrating with that, and then an example of a plugin as well. So design library. But yeah, just thought I'd get any early thoughts on that. If anyone has anything, if not, that's all good.
One quick question, because there's like a couple of bugs with the search right now open. It's like I think they're actually being old bugs, but now surfacing because of recent testing. But basically, one of VADEC actually testing JUnit, looking for JUnit, and then the first links actually going to nowhere, where you actually then would this be addressed in your current work with grouping? Or let me rephrase, what would actually happening if you have, like, for example, JUnit, right? It would be appearing in different places and in different groups. How would you handle those kinds of appearances?
Yeah, so I'm guessing JUnit is just a pipeline, I'm guessing. In that case, it'll just fall under the kind of items group. This is just like a not a functional change, it's just appearance, right? It's just grouping them. It's not changing how they're modeled in any way. As for like the search taking it to the wrong spot, guessing that's just a legacy problem. But there's definitely been a few cases where like this URL, for example, is encoded weirdly, so it's breaking. I need to look into those individually. I think that'd be separate from the grouping work.
So, okay, so are you okay if I ask, Thor, did your question get answered?
Yeah, no, completely makes sense. Like I said, like I was actually expecting the answer
Okay,
that
Christina, you had your hand raised, so let's let you go and then I'll ask mine.
Yeah, I like the function of it. I have a few questions that don't need to be answered right now, but maybe just think on. As a user, if I went to say I've searched, I clicked, I thought that it was multi-branch PR3 that I wanted. I click that. I can't come back to this view, can I?
No, not currently.
That's my only concern about search results like this. I may get, say in the top right, the ability to open search in a new window for users that, they know they're not quite sure where they're looking, so they know they might need, I may give them that. And then my other question was how is the hierarchy of results established? Like obviously items within, I assume there's a hierarchy in what results get bubbled in what order.
Yeah. So for the first one where we can kind of open search in a new window or screen, I think there's been quite a few users commenting about that.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely going to be a good idea to do. I'm not sure if we'd want to persist the search text across screens. That makes sense. Like if I click onto it, then
I think for users that want to use it in this kind of quick view format, great. Like I would probably add to the top of the kind of that large white area, I would add a little button in the top right or something there to say like open search results in a new window. Or no, no, sorry, that's the wrong. That would be confusing. Not that you want the search items to, when they click on it to open, but to open. Why am I blanking on what that button would be called? But so that you open a window with the search results in it with the search field so that they, if they don't find what they're looking for on first click, they can go back and, because in this, there's four items in items. So it's not a huge investment, but for some searches, there may be, say, 20, 25. There may be many results to go through. And then on that new page, for those users who want it, you could even add some filtering, right? But that would be my suggestion, because I could see that being frustrating for a user.
Yeah,
if they don't click what they want.
sure. Then as for the second one about the kind of ordering, yeah, like items are ordered first, just because I'm guessing predominantly that's what users will care about.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think it's just kind of random, apart from the other items, which appear last. Yeah, other items are generally just like the kind of top level Jenkins actions, so like settings, I guess design library in this case, stuff like that. They just appear at the bottom.
So I think I understood items. I think the word jobs would have been clearer for me, but items, I think I understand. That is Jenkins jobs, right?
Yeah.
Those are each of those is a job or some fraction of a job, some part of a job. Maybe it's test results. Now, I'm assuming it's only at the job level, not inside, for instance, at if I were to type in the name of a failing test, would it take me to the page for the top job, for the job itself, or for the test result? How deep does it go, Jan?
Yeah, it's just item level right now. But
Okay,
it would be
all right.
really cool if you could. We spoke about this at the contributor summit, right? If you could really drill in, that would be really neat and helpful.
Okay, and really that's, I guess what I just asked, something that is not related to grouping is in fact related to the basic search functionality, right? So
Yeah.
I just did the same, asked the same kind of question Thor did of, hey, is grouping somehow going to magically make Jenkins search better? And the answer is, well, it presents the results more nicely, but it doesn't actually make Jenkins
Yeah.
search find any more things than it did before. Okay,
Yeah.
so the other was design library is a category, and that's because the design library plugin has somehow registered itself for
Yeah.
to be included.
Yeah, it's just a simple hook into it.
And what are the scenarios where you'd envision someone doing that kind of a hook? Design library, I think you did it because it's a good example.
Yeah.
Are there things where it's a sort of a you've got a use case in mind, or a ooh, this is why this plugin should do that?
Um, Not off the top of my head. I think, like you said, like the JUnit, if you could register tests or other things related to builds, maybe you could drill into a build inside the search and kind of search inside of a build, perhaps. Stuff like that. But yeah, it's just a very surface level kind of approach right now. It's not that powerful, but be cool to extend it.
Great. All right. Okay. Good.
Awesome. Great. I think that's it.
And it looks like Chris Stern had some additional feedback or comment that I'm going to add to the notes. Chris, did you want to ask your questions directly here?
Yeah, I could, because I saw some feedback from some users that's like, I guess they've been using some virtual machines that doesn't come with very good, according to the wording, I think no good hardware acceleration, so which means that like some features of a new command palette is kind of slow in the environment. So is there any way we could cater to these environments as well, so they
Mhm.
would experience such frustrations?
Yeah. I think in the group PR, a lot of like the effects that were causing slowdowns were removed, or at least kind of drastically reduced. So that should hopefully alleviate some of it. If it's still an issue, then we can go further. Like there's a very, very subtle blur, but if that's killing performance, we can just remove it altogether, right?
Okay.
Or if users find it just obstructive, I can bring up weekly now, and I think it's okay. It's been updated. Let me bring up CI. It's like on CI, like the effects are a lot more intense.
Yeah.
The animations are quite a bit slower, so hopefully in the latest weekly, it's better for users. I guess keep iterating.
Okay, I see. Thanks.
So is there any concept of how, I mean, we've got this is the rapid navigation mode where, hey, let's find the one thing you need. We'll get you right to it very quickly. And the grouping helps you find things quicker. That's really good. Any idea of expand and contract on those groupings, or no, not really needed? And
Yeah. Yeah. yeah, I was thinking if you could maybe expand the groups up to get more results, or maybe have the groupings themselves be clickable. Like, could I click settings to take me to manage Jenkins? Could I click design library to take me to the appropriate page and so on? Users, you can get the idea. So stuff like that. Want to explore the ability to drill in and get more info. And maybe that necessitates its own page for kind of more complex things. Like if we look at how GitHub works, you can do that really quick search, but if you want to go more powerful, it takes you to its own kind of unique experience, right?
Okay, so and I like that. I like that example. So get there quickly, but if you need something more exotic, you could envision the case where we might go to a different dedicated search page, and that dedicated search page might even persist results. It might show you the results clickable.
Yeah.
Thank you. So so this is one step along a journey that's what I was looking for. Thank you. Questions from others? Oh, Thor, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Basically, that's actually as well another ticket actually that I remind about search right now that's open is like there is actually they ask for a dedicated search page, right? Like that there had been before. So I think I actually commented on the proposal that you have here or what we're seeing right now, whether you actually maybe want to incorporate maybe a link back to such a page again, right? Like here in this grouping to say like, do you want to see the full page, and then go here in this grouping phase as well, like you have the possibility to go there. I'm not sure, maybe Christina has an opinion there, whether that makes sense or not, simply for usability, I mean, right? Like, if that is expected as a user, right? Like if the user wants it, like how could we best, incorporate it to point to an overall page like, the Google result, or if you hit enter, right? Not to catch the first match that you have or what you right now selected, but go to basically to the search page as an overall page. But that would be
Yeah,
my feedback. Yeah.
I mentioned with having that button that would allow them to open the results in their own page. I think we're talking about the same thing. I could be wrong.
I think so.
Judith, you had a comment?
Yeah, I wanted to ask if users would want to have recent searches or past searches.
Yeah, and
I
for
could
me,
see
we've
that, yeah.
never had it before, but
Yeah.
go ahead, Jan.
I think like when you open the search kind of screen now, I think it'd be a good candidate to show kind of recent searches or kind of like popular jobs that you often use or something. Because right now it's just a help link and it's just a
Yeah.
bit pointless, really. Yeah, I think there's definitely an opportunity to surface more useful information.
So Jan, the concept there was I open the page, I haven't typed anything into it. All I did was press Control K, and it already has some suggestions. Okay, help is a good thing, but then, oh, recent things that you might, or
Yeah.
something like that. I see. Okay, thanks. Great. Any questions from others? Super. Thank you. Thanks, Jan.
Thank you.
All right, so let me go back to sharing mine, and you should see my notes.
Yep.
Okay, so I had an additional item. There were active work pending in Jenkins core, but I wasn't sure which things to put on the list. Jan, are there any on this list that you would like to highlight, or that we be sure we discuss today, or that others would like to discuss?
Nothing from me, I think. Gonna reach out to Tor after this, and we'll hopefully get that header stuff resolved. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's all good.
Great. All right. Yeah, I know that Adrian has been working on this one, the plugin health score one. So are you okay if I take just a minute on that one just to see if others are okay with this? They may not be aware of it happening, but here's what Adrian's trying to add, this look of add the health score for plugins from the updates list so that users know, hey, and an indicator on the health score, is this a good health score or a bad health score, right? So it's a percentage, but then give a visual cue that says, hey, this is goodness or badness.
I really like this.
Now I had a question, actually. I like this a bunch, but I'm worried about the width of the word not applicable. Is it
We can just use n/a.
now this is me asking Christina and Judith, is that allowed or is that not universally understood? And Jan, your experience as well. Is n/a universally understood to mean not applicable, or have we now persuaded, have I created confusion by putting 2 letters in there nobody understands?
No, I think that's absolutely valid.
We have to
Okay.
translate that, or
Yeah, it certainly is.
Yeah, okay.
It is a localizable string, and I don't know what it means. Is there such a let's test this with our non-native speakers who are here. So we've got a Spanish speaker, a French speaker, and a Chinese speaker. Is there a translation for n/a in your environment that users would actually understand?
In Spanish, it's the same. It's NA, so it would be the
Okay,
same.
okay. So Spanish we get lucky.
Yeah.
French, Bruno?
not so sure. I think we could twist it so that NA means also something in the right context in French, non applicable, but it's far stretched.
Okay.
And I don't think we would have 2 letters or 3 letters in French because we are pretty, we use long words in French.
All right.
I don't know,
And
maybe.
so testing one more. Chris Stern in Chinese. I assume the Roman letters NA don't have a lot of meaning.
Yeah, because like I think it's for Mandarin, like it's gonna be like something like million, but I'm not sure it has anything to do with NA though. I don't think they're correlated in any way at all. No,
They're
but
not.
I mean like for any Chinese speakers, they probably know what NA means.
Okay.
Is there opportunity for a tooltip?
Uh,
You use an acronym like NA and then allow a longer localized string.
good question. Jan, maybe you can answer that question. I don't know. That's an interesting idea. Is when you're saying like if I were to hover my mouse over it, could it give me extra text?
Yeah. We could show a symbol, perhaps. You know, like the disabled job symbol, where it's just a slash
Yeah,
to indicate
slash.
that maybe.
And I would make it gray. Makes
Yeah.
it
I've not had the time, sadly, to look over this PR the last couple of weeks, but like I saw there was quite a bit of discussion around the appearance of it. Do we need to show the numbers themselves? Like from a user's perspective, do they care that it's 89 versus 86? Like as long as it's green, like
So for me, I do care, but I'm deeply addicted to plugin health score. So I'm the wrong person to ask that question to. It's a good, I think you got a very good question. What if we just had some visual indicator that is not numeric, I think is what you're suggesting, right, Jan?
yeah, like the weather, maybe not the weather, but like the weather we have for Jenkins jobs, right? It's this kind of abstract representation of health, right?
think I uploaded a screenshot where they used healthy, at risk, neutral.
Mhm.
That kind of gives you an idea without, but now that takes up more room than just the score.
So maybe I've missed which one that is. That's not this one, right? This one.
Oh, is that the little tags to the left of that?
I
Sorry.
got a question though. It's like it's somewhat related, but how about using 2 dashes? For the numbers, we have dash, dash, and for the color of the circle, we use gray for NA.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out what you were referring to. good question. Dashes might be just as clear, right? That this is not applicable because the data doesn't exist. Yeah, interesting.
I think I would do the slash to denote that it won't run. I would read a dash as maybe it hasn't run yet. Whereas a angled line is like there won't be an action here because it's not applicable.
Yeah.
That's
Okay. All right. So going back to, let's see, you said that there were some mock-ups or some prototypes that I didn't see them that have had the idea of using the slash, but I think that fits with what the Jenkins UI has. If something has not yet run, it has a specific icon, right? Is that what you were lobbying for, Jan?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Wait, I'm
Very
sorry.
good.
Did you tag me in that? Did I see my name?
I don't remember if we tagged you or not. It's a good
Oh, I
question.
waited, but I just saw a new comment because I did not get notification of that.
Yeah, here's your comment from 2 days ago.
Yep.
And I thought your example was really good. I like this example. This one worked for me quite well. This one, oh yeah, I like the number in a circle, but I'm attached to numbers like that. So for me,
Yes.
the
No,
numbers
I
mean
just
something.
noticed my name and I did not get a notification, so I have to check my settings because
Okay.
that is a problem if I'm not getting them.
Yeah, sometimes I've been missing emails from GitHub too for some reason.
Okay. All right. Anything else that we want to discuss on plugin health score displayed in the plugin manager? This one I've also persuaded Alex won't arrive in the LTS. We need more time to evaluate it. This is another one of those that needs some time in weeklies before we allow it into LTS. Great. Okay. All right. Discussed let's see, it was the plugin health score display in the plugin manager. Okay, great. Any other topics on any other web UI labeled items that we want to be sure we discuss here today? I didn't see any, so I'm going to go ahead and assume not. Other topics, merged and released. I think we've discussed grouping in the command palette, right? Jan, that was what you had showed
Yeah.
us earlier. Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's okay.
All right, so LTS baseline selection is next week. Bruno is the LTS release lead, mentored by Chris. Thanks to both of you. These other items, anything you want to highlight further on the other items, Jan, in terms of Design Library 3? It's there and ready for people to use and think.
Yeah, I still want to update the docs to include more links to it. Just not had the time recently. It's just been chaos. So
Understood. Great. All right, and reminder that we've got an upcoming release on the 2nd of April, 2.492.3, and next week we choose the next LTS baseline. Anything else to discuss here today? All right, thanks very much for being here. Thank you a bunch. Recording should be available in 24 to 48 hours.